Hi, this is Sybil Harmony, and this is an energy update for the current energy in the middle of June 2022. So I want to kind of check in with a lot of things that I predicted so far, but the main thing that I'm seeing is we're getting ready to watch the January 6th, and it really isn't about that day. It was a whole conspiracy. We're getting ready to watch that, and what I'm not looking at what is going to come out of this commission so much as I'm looking at a whole group of people standing up with American flags. And so America wins. Democracy will win through all these trials. And I have the death card, which is change, endings and beginnings. And I have the card coming up, Wheel of Fortune, so that everything is happening in divine timing the way it's supposed to. Even though it may not seem like it, America is going to be okay. I'm seeing a lot of American flags. When my guides show me something, I know, like if I pull a card, it could be like, okay, it's fairly accurate, but when they show me something, if I can properly interpret what they're telling me, then, and this is the American flags all around our Capitol and our White House. I don't see any Trump 2020. I don't see any Confederate flags. I don't see anything about Auschwitz, the Nazi symbols. None of those. It's the American flag. So we are going to be victorious. We are going to save democracy. And that does not mean to rest on our laurels. We have to do the work, because there's always free will involved in anything. But America is going strong, and America, there's enough of us out there and doing the work that America will survive. And so we can relax and have faith. That doesn't mean that we don't need to do the work. There's a difference, okay? And so I'm also seeing a lot of unpredictable things with water. This summer, like I'm going to the beach today, but so don't let it stop you from going and having fun. I'm in Sonoma County, most dangerous beaches in the world as far as sneaker waves or those currents that pull people out. So I don't really get in the water a lot unless, there's like surfers out there. They do that. But so what I'm talking about is like unexpected things with water. So there could be hurricanes or floods, and it looks like it's in I don't think they have hurricanes in Europe. They might have floods there, but this looks like America. I'm going to say it's America. Just unexpected things with water. Expect the unexpected. And if there's a lifeguard there, that's good, because I saw like this blonde lifeguard like telling people like to come in, or it's like listening. It's kind of like following the rules or being conservative, I guess one would say, or going to beaches where they have a lifeguard. And then so, there's a lot of turbulence happening now in the world. And it's not just because, big cities didn't prosecute people. That's a misnomer. But it is, there are a lot of, like some cities, like Oakland has a lot of they're understaffed as far as their police departments because of all the things that have come out. So it's kind of like we're going through this big change, and then we have things because of COVID, and then they let a bunch of people out of prison because of COVID. And people lost their jobs, people are desperate, people are on drugs. And so funding mental health and getting, taking care of our homeless is surely important. But I don't believe it's because the Democrats are soft on crime. That's not true. Okay, so I wanted to catch up on a lot of things that I did predict. And COVID. I predicted that COVID would spike in June. It kind of spiked around here a little bit more in May, but it's still pretty high now. But I also said that it wouldn't be as much of an issue. It's more like if people are vaccinated, they're not getting severe illness, and it's more kind of like a flu as it, the variants come out. They're not as strong as maybe even as Delta was. So I do feel like it spikes again in this fall. And then the vaccine, the Novavax, would be my preference. I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell people what to do, but it's the vaccine they used in Europe. So it's a different, it's made differently, and that's the one I was actually waiting for, but I already got the other one, so and plus I've had COVID, so I've been there, done that. I know it all. Personally, not to recommend things to people because I'm not a doctor. Okay, so the monkeypox, I feel like it's kind of like it's not that contagious. It's not going to be a pandemic. It's something to be aware of, just your hygiene, but I don't feel like it's gonna spread a lot. I just don't feel like it's not gonna be a pandemic. So I saw Trump and like doing a little dance and laughing, and then I saw these coffins and I saw people jumping ship. So we may not have seen that yet, but I feel like this was a lot of having to do with the mass shootings, the militia groups that are behind him, the white supremacist groups like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. Even though they may have a token brown or black person in there, they're basically white supremacist groups. And there are other ones that I don't know about, but there were people killed, and a lot of people bailed on I saw people jumping off a ship, like bailing. A lot of people bailed on the NRA convention, and then he got up there and said all the dead children's names, and then about like a few minutes later started doing a little dance. Okay, I have here to say, I actually have something in common with Trump, because I can pass the IQ test, and so my IQ is 45, and it's kind of cute because he's President 45, and he has a 45 IQ, and so do I. Do you know how I know? Because I can do the test. I can do the test. Here's the test. Okay, let me see if I can do it. It'll be amazing. Everyone will say it's amazing. Oh my God. Person, camera, man, woman, something. See, I did it. Oh my God. Isn't that amazing? I have an IQ of 45. I'm right up there with Trump. I did it. Person, car, something like that, TV, camera, man, woman. I did it. That time I even did it better. I probably higher than his IQ. Okay. That's what I heard he says in his speeches. I don't listen to them. But okay. Isn't that cool? I'm so smart. My IQ is 45, just like him. We have something in common. And we kind of have red hair, so hey, who knew? Okay. Price of gas. Well, the price of gas is up all over the world. Price of food and price of gas from the pandemic. And I feel like what they're not talking about is the big oil companies don't like Biden because he wants to go green. So, yeah. And what people, hopefully people realize that it's happening all over the world, and it isn't good for us to be dependent upon big oil companies that are polluting the planet, causing tidal waves, causing the whole system to be out of balance, and controlling us with these high gas prices. So it isn't Biden, it's the oil companies. And will there be hearings on that? On the oil companies' price gouging? Yes. I predicted a stimulus check. Possibly. Because the Republicans are trying to stop Biden from doing that by saying that that's why the prices are high, because he gave us a stimulus check. Really? Uh-huh. Okay. Will Biden do a stimulus check before the 2020 elections? Oh. No, maybe not. I guess that changed. Okay. And then the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing, someone asked me about that. And I'm just not that interested in that. I'm more interested in talking about things that matter. I think the whole thing was sad, and I predicted that Johnny Depp would probably win more or something, and that happened. So, it's just that I'd rather look at Jenny Thomas and why the Supreme Court is involved in an insurrection than that, but okay. And then, but it's an interesting question, so thank you for your questions. And then, attempt on Putin. I do feel like near the beginning of the war, there was an inside attempt on Putin's life. And I read that, I saw that, and then Sky News, which is like Fox News in Australia, confirmed, plus some head of the Ukrainian diplomats confirmed that they believe that there was an attempt on his life. There may be another one, but I don't know that it will be successful. And is there going to be another attempt on Putin's life? Not anytime soon. I guess it's confirmed that he has cancer. He has cancer. Yeah, he's fighting that. And how many more years will he be doing this war? 4 years, that's a long time. Is it 4 months? Yeah. Okay. So the cards I'm pulling, so yeah, it's not really clear. They're not showing me anything about that ending anytime soon. The cards that I'm seeing is that we are all going through a big change right now. This is the Death card. This is the ending of the old so that the new can begin. The ending of the old paradigm. Institutions and governments failing, things not working, the environment, yeah, inflation, yeah. So what we can do is realize that we can create our own prosperity and wealth regardless of what governments or other people are doing. Because if you get into a bunch of fear, you can create a health problem. It's kind of like it drains out your energy, and when your energy is low, your health, your finances are affected. So what we want to do, I did an Archangel Michael vacuuming to clean out fear. And so one of the things about creating prosperity and abundance isn't so much about having a big 401k or retirement plan, which is fine if you do, and a good idea, but it's also being able to create what you want and being taken care of. Because you can have $1 million or $1 billion and get cancer and die, or be run over by a truck or shot in a grocery store or whatever. So let's cancel that's not going to happen, but let's not say that. Cancel. But what we want to do is to be in this present moment and to allow ourselves to receive and to be in that vibration and creating that, because energy vibration creates physical reality. And that'll be a whole nother video. But this card came up, and this is about allowing things to come to you, allowing better prices or more money or a better job or a raise or good relationships, great health. So this is about what you allow to come to you, not trying to push up the stream and look for somebody to blame, because I'll tell you, if the Republicans were in there, the gas would, it might be a little bit better because they like the Republicans better, certainly if they're supporting oil companies, but in the long run, we will not have a planet. And that's not just, we're not just making that up, so it's going to cost a lot more for flood damage and fire damage and loss of, business and residents because of global warming and climate change. We're already seeing a big migration from South American countries where they're having drought and they don't have food, they don't have jobs. Now, that's not just because of climate change, but that's a large part of it, why people are coming here to have a better life when they're farming and there's a drought and they're not able to grow food and don't have any other answers. So anyway, so prosperity is in a vibration, and that might make some people angry, like, how is that? I always get like people who want to argue with me about why, what is, so I mean, if you are in a lower, if you're a newer soul, or you're a narcissist, or you're creating only in the physical world, then you have to work hard or hope you get lucky, or well, in Feng Shui, they believe there are 5 things that affect a person's life. So it's God's will, the vibration, the astrology, numerology you were born with, the karma, helpful acts towards others, like giving to others and developing and being in the flow of energy. So whatever you give comes back, and you're living a good life of service. So Feng Shui, setting up your house in a Feng Shui correct way. And then also education. Education, degrees, and training for what you do. Okay, so those are the 5 things that affect our energy. So there are things like, if you're born under an astrological configuration where you're having a time where it's hard, or you're having a time where it's prosperous, you can still work with the energy, because it's only giving you a map of what is happening. But you can change the Feng Shui, you can change your karma, you can educate yourself or train yourself, which is what I did. I dedicated myself to being of service and in the work that I do. So helping children find, why are you here and what do you do? Whether it's baking pies, or, being a doctor or a lawyer, whether it's fixing cars or fixing pipes and plumbing. Everyone has something that they're here to do, to contribute, that is a part of their path. And if you're already in a career that you don't like, or a career that you do like, it's about tapping into, how are you receiving, how are you giving and receiving, how are you in alignment. And that would probably be a personal session of looking at what's affecting you, how do you deal with money. And I think I did some money and prosperity videos that I have, and you could look at those if you're interested, or I can do another video on that. And so let me just pull a card here. Yeah, so you are healed. What you there's one more card coming in saying what you prayed for is on its way. You are already healed. So may you be healed, because in truth, you already are. Please like and subscribe. It helps get my videos out there. If you'd like to book a personal session, I'm SibylHarmony.com, SIBYL, harmony.com. And please leave comments and questions so I can answer what you want to know about. Okay, thank you. Take care.